new North Carolina bill aims to change child marriage reputation and raises the age of consent for marriage to 16. So, I will clap for the progress.
Where is this?
North Carolina.
Are you serious? What was it before?
The US of A. So, North Carolina is one of 13 states in the US that allows a person under 16 to be married. Usually these are under specific conditions that include parental consent to the marriage, but they are still technically legal and allowed. The state has been struggling with an influx of applications for marriage licenses. A great many of these applications are from individuals living out of state who purposefully visit North Carolina for the chance of marrying a minor.
What?
So North Carolina is essentially a child marriage destination, especially among the southern states. This is no longer possible in many other southern states, for example, making North Carolina a notorious destination for such nuptials. Now, more than half of the marriage license applications involving one party under the age of 18 years old came from other states. So let me repeat that. Now, more than one half of the marriage license applications involving one party under the age of 18 years old came from other states. So like I said, there's a great influx of this.
This is the tourism.
The international...
This is like what a way to attract people to your state. What a way to be known for. Like, oh, let's bring business to our state for. I don't even want to say for what, because we might get a strike from YouTube. But go on.
Yes. The International Center for Research on Women, or ICRW, published a study in August 2020 that reveals around 8,800 children below 18 years old were listed on marriage licenses in North Carolina between the year 2000 and 2015. Senator Sawyer intended to sponsor a bill that will increase the minimum age requirement to 18. Unfortunately, a proposed compromise was eventually reached, which only raises the age requirement to 16 and creates an age difference limit of 4 years between the spouses. So just to be clear, you can still technically marry a minor in North Carolina, but now there is a limit on the age difference between the parties involved. They can't have more than a 4-year age difference between them.
Yeah, I mean that makes sense. I think like if you're like 18, people shouldn't be judgmental of you being with like a 16-year-old if you're yourself a kind of that makes sense. But wait, what was the? Yeah, go on.
Well, and also that little asterisk, that provision falls into very similar legislation involving statutory RAPE, which I'm not going to say because of YouTube. So. And that helps fight, there's a lot of people who want to think that these underage marriages are happening amongst people who are just kind of like Romeo and Juliet kids, as they're known, like, their peers, slight age difference, but they just want to be in love. They just want to be in love already and they want to be married already, blah, blah, blah. Like the vast majority of these marriages are not between two minors. They're between people with a large age difference.
What was the age of consent age of marriage before this new law? That is
14.
14. Wow. This is the United States, people. This is the United States of America. Again, people were pointing out that let me see in live chat. In Pakistan, the legal age is 18, and in India, it's 21.
For India, it's 21 if you are a man, but it's 18 if you're a woman. And there's also...
Okay, 21 is...
There's contentions on that. There's contentions on that depending on what your religion is.
Oh my
There's
God.
ways to get around this depending on special marriage provisions based on your religion.
Yeah, I don't like India's law. Apparently, between India... Pakistan and United States. Pakistan got the best.
Well, I mean, we all know
wow,
how.
Pakistan. Yeah.
No, but they refuse to like provide a lot of legislation actually banning and criminalizing people who participate in child marriage. That's
okay. Never mind. I thought.
Come on, Armin. We talk about this all the time.
So it's Pakistan, guys. Just because we shouldn't be celebrating. Okay, but let me actually highlight this other thing. Murtad was saying. Read this one. This is kind of.
He's saying, "Does your state get in the way of true love?" Oh no. Well, boy, do we have a solution for you. Come down to North Carolina.
Oh my God.
Oh no. Well, you know what's a really interesting point is that a few years ago, North Carolina became really notorious because of pushing forth some of the most prohibitive transgender rights rules surrounding bathroom access, right? And because of that, there was a boycott of the state. And it's estimated that they've lost, I mean, several million, obviously, but I've seen estimates that they've lost maybe even like $1 billion in revenue because of this anti-transgender law that they have on the books. And so there were people in articles I saw discussing this, kind of talking about this as like the reverse, like this is attracting people for the worst reasons. And
Right.
It's really interesting to hear the way that people, even within the state legislature or state government, are talking about it. For example, Drew Raysinger, who is the registered of deeds for Buncombe County in Western North Carolina, said, "We will have moved the needle and made North Carolina no longer at the very bottom of the barrel of states."
Wow.
Yeah.
Yes.
So they're like, it's high time we change this. This is like really bad. There was another point I wanted to make, but I have to find a statistic.
Okay, so I think, let me know if you agree with this. I think the legal age of marriage should be 18 unless you yourself, like the Romeo Juliet laws. I think it should be 18 for everyone else, 16 for people who are only 4 years older. You know what I mean? Like if you yourself are anything between 16 and 20, you could be with a 16-year-old. If you're anything between 17 and 21, you could be with a 17-year-old. So if the difference is less than 4, then you could go below 18 to 16. But if the difference is higher than 4, then it should be 18. Do you think that's a good rule?
I mean, I think just federally it should be 18. No exceptions.
Yeah. Okay. So maybe you're mixing things. We're talking about legal age of consent and marriage. So yeah, you're right. Marriage should be 18 because, you don't have to marry, like even if you want to be with somebody, right? But age of consent should be 18 and below 18, like I don't know how much below 18, but any below 18 should the difference of 4 years.
That's pretty standard across the United States. Like state by state,
Right.
The age of consent varies, but most states have an asterisk that it is these. In Washington state, where I'm from, they call them Romeo and Juliet laws, where there's a certain age difference that is fine. Like beyond that, it's statutory RAPE.
I don't know how much below 18, right? Like, for example, I think if you find a 16-year-old with a 15-year-old and they are doing, something, I don't think you should charge the 16-year-old for like being with the minor. Like the 16-year-old is like, he's a minor himself or herself. So I don't think like it makes sense the Romeo and Juliet laws makes complete sense, right? Yeah. So marriage should be 18. You don't have to get married if you're 16, even if you're in love with another 16-year-old. Because you don't know what you're doing. But consent should be based on anything above 18 goes. Anything below 18 should be based on the difference between the ages. I think it makes sense. I don't know exactly what the numbers should be, but yeah.
There's a lot of variation. So I found the statistic that I wanted to read. So like I said before, the International Center for Research on Women estimates that nearly 8,800 minors were listed on marriage licenses in North Carolina from 2000 to 2015, placing the state among the top 5 with child marriages during that period. The group said that 93% of the marriage applications it reviewed for the years 2000 to 2019 involved the marriage between a minor and an adult. So it's like really against that narrative, like I said earlier, that these are just kids that want to be in love. Like this is like child marriage. There was a lot of coverage on this that was really tough. Like there were women who were basically survivors of child marriage who came to speak at hearings regarding this bill. And they weren't even from North Carolina because women who were affected by this in North Carolina, like they couldn't find anyone to talk to the government and represent this cause because they've been so traumatized by the experience. So they had other women from other states come and talk about how it like really badly affected their life. And a common theme is that a lot of these women are with people who are abusive partners. And when they're young, they don't have a lot of skills to maybe identify like warning signs and behavior, or they got into it young and it makes them vulnerable, easy to control, and an easy target for abuse. So a lot of the people who are supporting this were like, this wasn't as much progress as we would have wanted. We're like that Register of Deeds that I was talking about. He was like, this is still going to put a lot of children in harm's way, but it's a step.
Yeah, it's a step. It's amazing that we have such relaxed laws in some states, and in some other states we have some stupid strict laws. I don't know when did this happen. I remember Richard Dawkins was highlighting this in his presentation, and I saw it in person. There was this man who's registered as a sex offender because when he was with this woman who he loved, who was a minor, but he was only 1 year older than her, right? 1 year older than her, but she was a minor and he wasn't. I think I don't know if it was 1 or something really small, like it was ridiculous. And he was forever, like for decades, like I don't know exactly the numbers, but he couldn't get a job. And once his love became of age, they got married, right? Even though he was arrested and charged for being with a minor, even though he was only 1 year like older than her, because he was considered not a minor. And then they got married and they had children, and he couldn't be around his children because he was still registered as a sex offender. Like he couldn't be around his own children because of this stupid law. Like it's so, and his life was a living hell. It was so screwed up. Like you see, what one state, like this is the United States, is when it happens when you have multiple laws in different states. You have one state like dealing with like, oh yeah, come here, we will give you our children. Like, wow, okay. And then they have other states so like, you're an adult, this is a child. Like, what, dude? I'm like 1 year older. Like, nope, we're gonna make your life miserable from now on and never forgive you for this. It was ridiculous. Yeah, Mortez skeptic.
I'm gonna have to look into that because I'm not familiar with that story.
Yeah.
To be honest, I would like to investigate if it is actually the details as they were presented.
Well, I mean, the presentation was done by Richard Dawkins. I'm not saying we should trust it. I would just be very surprised if the details are not the way I described it. But yeah, actually maybe we should highlight it one time on one of our shows if you could find it.
Hey guys, if you're a fan of Blasphemy and Sexy Callie, like me, then you need to be sure to subscribe to our newsletter, link in the description below. Because if you subscribe, we will send you a free copy of our Blasphemous Art ebook. And let me tell you, it is the tastiest blasphemy that you can find anywhere available today. And we are so generous with our blasphemy that we continue to send you more blasphemy every week. So make sure to subscribe. Link in the description below.